bone to pick with you.
Oh, go on.
You're actually doing me now, like that. I mean, you've got more subscribers than me, like that. I mean, you're going to hit 50,000 before me. You're out of all. You dirty bastard. You're fucking out of order like that. I mean, like that. But now, listen, well done. Brilliant. You know, deserve it, like, you know. So, and listen, not only that, box level as well. You dirty, horrible bastard. Box level, you and Mark, like, you know what I mean? Did he eat all the cheese? You know what I mean? Did he?
Well, listen, I'll say this now, right? The cheese was definitely gone. But I'll tell you this, before we even got to that, we were surprised because the problem was me and Mark were on holiday and we had a few bevies in Benidorm, right? And he said to me, why don't we go to the Emirates Cup? And I said, I don't want to go Emirates Cup, mate. I'm not interested in Arsenal at the moment. They've pissing me off, you know, where they're playing. Let's go. It'll be a laugh. Let's go to the posh seats. So he meant club level, right? And I did as well. I thought, all right, let's have a look if club level are available. Went on there. Of course, Emirates ain't sold out at all. So I thought, oh, let's go and have some fun then. So we paid what we paid. We goes up there. We're expecting to be at club level and they walk us to our box, right? I'm thinking, what's happening here? We paid for box level here. What's going on? Included in that, you get a 3-course meal, which was absolutely beautiful, by the way. Burger, fries, chicken kebabs. We had these like breaded prawns. We had a halloumi salad, a cheesecake dessert, 6-7 pints of Guinness. I'm thinking, this is beautiful here. Do I have to go and watch the football? Because I don't want to. And I've got to be honest with you, Judge. The football was the worst part of the whole night, to be honest, because I thought we would die, mate. And no, but look, big up to you for the compliments. And the only reason that I have managed to do that is because I'm clearly better looking than you, mate. That must be what it is. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think. But yeah, man, look, we'll get both of us to 50K before the start of the season. That's what we want,
well done. No,
that's what we want.
Big up, bro. Well done and well deserved, like, you know what I mean? And
no, come on, bro.
How many times have I said that? You go to these things, and then the Arsenal turn up and ruin it all. It's just so many times. Arteta comes along with his team and absolutely ruins it. You know what I mean? He ruined Hong Kong for me. I had a wonderful time in Hong Kong, and then he turns up with his 11 men against Spurs, and we get done like. But it's only a friendly. It's only a friendly.
It's only a friendly. Apparently, it's only a friendly. Honestly, how many times are we going to keep hearing this?
Only a friendly. And then it'll be like, we lose our first 6 games. Only the first 6 games. Be patient. Be patient.
Be patient. It's January. Be patient. The window's not closed. Be patient. It's the summer. A striker will come in. Be patient. It's only pre-season. Be patient. One day we'll win a trophy. Honestly, man, like it's honestly, man, what is happening?
It is unbelievable. Listen, I get it. Let's be serious about it. Pre-season is pre-season. There's a reason for pre-season. That rhymes, that does, doesn't it? Like, you know, but so there's a reason for pre-season, and that is to get everybody fit. It ain't really about results, and I get that. But I tell you what it is about, and I've played football, and I have been involved in a lot of football. It's about getting performances right, and getting yourself used to players and a pattern of the play. And look, listen, years ago, and you always used to play teams in the lower leagues. Do you know what I mean? Even with Arsenal, they'd never play a team. They'd never play Spurs in a friendly, Newcastle in a friendly. They'd never play teams like that. They'd play Plymouth away or go up to Dundee and Dundee United on a tour and all things like that. So I get what everybody's saying about it and all that. So you don't really gauge, and you can't really gauge where you are. But football's changed, Dan. This is different now. You know, now you're playing Newcastle, you're playing Tottenham, and you're playing these prestige friendlies. Now, it's only pre-season, right? No one really cares, right? So why is there 60,000 fans at the game last? Someone tell me that. Why is there 60,000 fans out there paying 30, 40 quid a game for a pop for it, like, you know what I mean? The reason is because there is something in it. Otherwise, no one would turn up then. You know what I mean? Like, so don't be, what's the word, sugarcoating everything and saying it's only a friendly and whatever, like, you know. And, you know, I look at things at the moment, and I've had people message me and go, you know, you're being so negative, it's only pre-season and whatever, like, stop moaning and all that, like. I'm not moaning, I'm just making a fact. At the minute, we're crap. Let's be honest, the football's boring. I was bored last season. All I want to see when I go to these friendlies and pre-season, right, is something that's going to excite me for the season. That's what it's about, don't you think? Like, So here I am out in Dubai enjoying myself. I get a message from Roy. I want you to send me a thank you. I had to pay £10 for that crap the other night. £10 I had to pay to watch it, right? And honestly, Dan, please. And then if anybody's watched it as well, they had the guys at half time. Right.
Oh, Adrian Clark, weren't it?
Oh, I like Adrian Clark. They're doing me a fun. I know that he's getting paid by the Arsenal, right? And I understand that. I've just watched 45 minutes of crap, right? And I mean it was crap, right? We're getting beaten by Villarreal, not one of the best teams in Spain. And they're trying to spin for 15 minutes positives and not one bad thing said about it. Like, you know what I mean? It amazes me, like, oh, we've done this well. What about what we didn't do well? Oh, no, you know what I mean? Like, it's incredible, Dan. It really is. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, what I see on what day was it? Wednesday was a shocker, mate. It was an absolute shocker, and I didn't enjoy the game one bit. And at the end of it, my God, we got well and truly stuffed. Now I will say this, and somebody said to me, and I think it might have even been Russ, said like, "Well, that's not the team that we're going to start off the season, right?" So, right. When is he going to start the team? You know what I mean? Like against Man United.
Well, he's got to do it this weekend, bruv, because I've been told this as well. Oh, he's getting Norgard used to this way of playing. The geezer's been playing Premier League football. I was told it was great business. Why are we trying to settle him in? Marino and Norgard has been our midfield more than Zubimendi, Rice and Odegaard. We've got Gyökeres, who's finally got a couple of minutes, but he got nowhere near enough time. And yet again, Max Dowman and Ethan Nwaneri are our two best players who are a combined age of 33. What is happening here, man?
And to top it all off, because it's only a friendly, our mate Marino ended up up front. Like, you know what I mean? We've just gone through another transfer window. There is Marino up front. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you this as well quickly on that, right? Let me tell you very quickly on that. Big up to the England women, right? Because we haven't had a chance to big them up yet.
Yeah, well,
I would rather them take penalties for us than Marino. Let me tell you that now, because that is the worst penalty. I think of him and Madueke taking penalties is an embarrassment.
Oh, Madueke, like, yeah, welcome to the Arsenal. Like, I knew he was going to miss. I didn't even watch the penalty. So I'm not watching that, like. And then it come up on my thing, Madueke misses penalty. Like, you know what I mean? Welcome to Arsenal, mate. You know what I mean? Like, what a difference you're going to make. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? He's probably missed that because, you know, he ain't feeling in love with the Arsenal fans through social media. I don't know. Like, absolute joke.
It was a joke, bro. It was a joke. I'll tell you what was a joke, actually, before I talk about away from the game. Me and Mark at sort of half time, we went out to the hospitality bit, you know, in the posh bit, bless us, and we walked out and he looked down, he went, oh, there you go, there's the food that people are paying for down there. There's a big sign and it says £15.95 burger. I thought, Jesus Christ. I said, look how much that is for a burger and fries. I looked below it, it says fries, £5 if you want them with it.
Ask if you can get
over 20 quid now.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like, you know what I mean? Ask if you can pay it in instalments. You know,
yes,
I know what you're going to get. Like, you know what I mean?
Unbelievable. Eh? Burgers are $15.95, and if you want fries with it, that is another $5.95 on top of that. Oh, you mean me and Mark just started laughing? I thought you are absolutely. And people are queuing up. Couldn't see the end of the queue. They're making them mint.
£20 for a burger and chips. Don't ask for no ketchup. That's an extra pound. But like, I'm telling you, like £20. You know what I mean? And there are Arsenal scrimping and saving, trying. You know, and the reason, look, Gyökeres, I think, is going to be a fantastic player for us, but he's nowhere near at the moment because he's 2-3 weeks behind because Arsenal didn't want to spend the extra bit of money. And, you know, look at Man United, like, they've gone and got Sesko, and they've done it within 2 days, Dan. 2 days. We spent 6 months trying to get him and ended up like going, no, we can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, they want 2 more extra fries than what we're prepared to pay. You know what I mean? But Man United went and got that sorted within days. Arsenal, you know what I mean? Come on. But it's all right, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really like baffled with Arsenal at the moment. I really am. That performance forgetting this pre-season was woeful. They ripped us apart at times. And look about that second goal. I'll tell you what, I'm going to say one positive. Mascara looks like a very good player.
Mascara looks quality,
Mascara
don't he?
looks
I like him a lot,
very,
man. I like him.
very good prospect. But, you know, that goal, just like, it was like the parting of the wave. Where was our midfield? Where was it? I'll tell you, like, you know what I mean?
Well, that was the first one was a shambles. I mean, Raya's all over the place again, and then he's hit the post.
Right, it's worrying me.
Raya is seriously worrying me. And Nicholas Pepe's there to put it in. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you, really?
And he didn't celebrate like that. I mean, I'm not being off. If I was him, I would have took my shirt off, took my shorts off, and gone right up to our set. But he didn't like it. I mean, like, you know, unbelievable, like, you know. But like, no, like, he was going to score. And listen, I felt we looked very, very open. You know, there weren't a lot of organisation there. And then you think about it, we're supposed to be very, very good defensively, and we're not. You know, Miles Lewis-Skelly, I love him. He looks about 2 yards off the pace at the moment. Doesn't look quite right.
Do you not think though he looked good in glimpses and then bad in glimpses? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him at the moment. Like, you know what I mean? It's only pre-season, so get everything out of the way. I don't know what he's doing in midfield, like, you know what I mean? If listen, I get this, I do get it, that they probably play a game behind closed doors, and they're also training a lot, and they ain't going to give away their hand. I get that. But at some stage, you do want to see what Rice and Zubimendi and Odegaard are going to do, if that's going to be the case scenario going forward, like, you know. But as good old Russ said yesterday, it doesn't look good when a 15-year-old comes on and changes the whole thing. Now that's fantastic for him, and you know, what's a player, by the way. But
incredible.
It's not a good look, Dan. It's not a good look. You know what I mean? Like, Saka's a bit of a worry at the moment, not quite at it for me, you know, like the injury might have took a toll. I don't think as, you know what I mean, been able to be at his devastating best at this moment in time. The left-hand side is shambolic. It is shambolic. Yeah, I mean, like,
I think our mate Martinelli might have to be done, mate. I'm sorry.
Well,
he's been a shambles.
Let's talk about Martinelli, right? Let's talk about him. He got the ball one time, right? And there's 4 defenders around him, and I'm thinking, like, the cavalry's going to arrive in a minute, and there's no one there helping him out. There's no. Where's Declan Rice? Oh no, he's on the bench. Marino, like, was like a chugging boat trying to get up there, like, you know what I mean. Miles Lewis-Skelly's nowhere, and then on the right hand side, there's about 10 of them around Saka. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't seem. The balance of the team and the tactics is just an absolute shambles. And really, you think about it, right, okay, you've got Gyökeres. Well, you know, let's play to his strengths. Well, we've done everything but.
Yeah, it's awful. It was so bad, actually, watching him. I was thinking, crikey. Now, don't get me wrong.
I see him on the right wing and all down at one stage.
He was on the left wing at one stage as well. And I thought to myself, and you know what? I didn't blame him. Do you know why? Because he was just trying to be putting himself about, saying, someone give me the ball. Please, someone give me the ball. Because I'm trying to be a target man, but no one's hitting me there. I'm trying to be a right winger, no one's passing me the ball. I've moved over to the left now, you're ignoring me. Hello, I know you're not used to playing with a striker, but I am here. And I thought to myself, as much as I will say drop deep and get the ball, that's not what we bought him for. Otherwise, you might as well just keep Kai. And it is a playing style, bro. I'm sorry. I know people, he's going to moan about Arteta now. Yeah, I am. I'm going to moan about Arteta. So if you don't like it, then just log off. Because I'm going to moan about his playing style, mate. It has been a cure for insomnia, mate. It is absolutely embarrassingly boring. There is nothing about that game or style that I've been impressed with, Lee, throughout the whole of pre-season.
No, I'm with you. And at the end of it, like, you know, and listen, I've been a bit more supportive of Arteta, and I've said, I'll wait till he gets a centre forward in. You know, look what he's done without a centre forward and all that. Well, you can't use that excuse no more, because there's the centre forward banging in goals left, right, and centre, like, you know what I mean. And there he is playing right wing and left wing. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean. It's you know, Arteta now has got to get this sorted, and if he doesn't, I'm afraid, you know, he's on borrowed time. And look, listen, the old cult following of Mikel will be, really worried at this stage. You know what I mean? Like, as they're all saying, it's only pre-season, blah, blah. But you know what? Right, I've seen a few of them online, and a few of my mates as well who are Arteta in, right? Or not Arteta. Some wrong words to say. They're Arteta. He can't do nothing wrong, like, yeah, right. They're quick to slag off Martinelli. They're quick to slag off whoever, what players. They don't care what players. They're quick to slag off people on social media, but they will not have a bad word said about this manager. So they're rather saying, Martinelli, he's got to go, he's crap. Trossard, he ain't good enough. What about the manager? Oh, well, no, we can't talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, and it'd be Gyökeres' fault when he ain't scored for 10 games. You know what I mean? It'd be like somebody else's fault. So listen, everybody's entitled to have their say. Everybody's entitled to criticise and be there at this moment in time. At this moment in time, yes, I get it. We're in pre-season and you've got to be a little bit cautious about it. But what I see the other night, and particularly in Asia, it was a yawn fest then. Like, I'm bored watching Arsenal at this moment in time. It is repeat and wash, repeat and wash, repeat and wash, and you've got a bald head. That is as simple as it is at this moment in time. You know what I mean? Like, unbelievable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is just not. It's not happening. And that game yesterday, on Wednesday, highlighted it for me. Like, you know, you can hide a bike round. It's a friendly and all that. Like, you know, but at the end of the day, there's still things in that game that are not right. Then, whether it's a friendly or not, conceding after being totally in control after 10 minutes, their first attack. When they went, they scored from this. I was mucking about when I said that, and they did. They did.
Look, I've got to be honest. It's been pretty poor in the last two. First two, not so bad. But what worries me is the following. I've learnt nothing. I've learned absolutely nothing. We've got one game of pre-season left and I've learnt nothing. I wanted to see Zubimendi, Rice and Odegaard in midfield. I've hardly seen it. I wanted to see our attack look more fluid as a style. I haven't seen it. I wanted to be quicker in the counter. I haven't seen it. I wanted to see Martinelli with a proper attacker. I haven't seen it. I wanted to see Saka back from fitness, looking fitter, looking good for the new season. I haven't seen it. I wanted to see more than Max Dowman and Ethan being the best players because as a combined age of 33, that shouldn't be happening. And if I'm honest with you, I'll say I wanted to see Raya going back to his calmness. And he's been a headless chicken again. And like he was at the back end of the season. So in every department, I'm kind of questioning it. I'm not questioning our defence. I never have, really. We know we're good defensively. Our midfield isn't balanced. Our left side looks dead, including Rice, including Lewis-Skelly in this pre-season and including Martinelli. And then up top, we haven't really seen him yet. So it's not been a good pre-season, bruv. We don't look prepared and we don't look ready. Let's come to some of these questions and it will definitely lead to some more topics. Put your super chats in, people. We're going to go through them all now. Anyone that's got a question, put a Q at the start of it and we'll read them out. Lawrence, big up to you, bro. I hope you're well. Says Dan and Lee, I'm telling you now, after 6 games, we'll be bottom of the league with 2 points. Now, look, some people might think that's over the top. Some people might think that's fair. Some people might think it's spot on. If we play like this, Lee, in the first 6, I have major worries, mate. Major worries.
Well, I'm interested from Lawrence to see where we were going to get those 2 points from. where I think you've been very, very,
very kind,
very, very optimistic there, Lawrence. You know what I mean? Because you ain't getting them at Man United, and you ain't getting them at maybe a point at Leeds at home. But you know, like Leeds will come there and be like the thing that we, you know, the kryptonite of what we're no good at. Like they're defending there, like, you know. Liverpool, nothing. Who we got after that? We got
Leeds, Liverpool, Forest, and then Man City, and then Newcastle.
So he was basically saying that we get 2 points at home against Forest and Leeds. At the minute, as it stands, we'll probably get 4 points. I think we'll beat one of them 2 teams. Right.
I think at the minute, if we play like this, I think we'll draw at Old Trafford. I think we'll beat Leeds. I think it will be just. I think we'll beat Forest just. That'll be 6. 7. I think we'll lose to Liverpool. That'll still be 7. I think we'll lose to Man City. That'll still be 7. And then maybe we'll pick up a point at Newcastle, which will be 8. But it could all change if we start to look at the weekend and think, "Cool, yeah, that's better. Right, we've got our 11 now. It's looking good. Maybe we can, I think
it might be a good time to take on Newcastle early doors now. What's going on there?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a good time. It's never really a good time, if I'm honest, but it's a good time at the moment.
I think it's a good time to take Man United on, because I think Man United in a month's, 2 months' time, maybe. Listen, talking to a Man United fan today, let's be honest, there's no team in this world, right, can be as crap as what they were last season, embarrassing as they were, and pick up the players they've picked up this season. It's incredible. It's incredible. No other team could do that without Champions League football as well. It just shows you how big Man United are. Unbelievable.
Oh, Man United are huge. I don't know if you've seen what's been going around on Twitter today about Newcastle. I feel so sorry for them, if I'm honest. Someone's put
They can't compete with Man United.
They can't compete with Man U. They can't compete with Spurs. They can't compete with Chelsea. They can't compete with Liverpool. All of the players they've gone in for have gone to those 3 clubs. It's just shows you the power. It doesn't matter how much money you got. It's different to when Man City got all that taken. There was no PSR. Newcastle have had to play catch up, and they can't catch up.
No, they can't do it.
It's so sad if you're a Newcastle fan. It really is. But look, I wanted to mention this because these are 2 super chats that Lawrence has put in. I went on AFTV yesterday, day before yesterday, as everyone knows, and I got put into probably after the worst 2 people I could have actually been put after, because there was James, bless him, who was telling everybody that we've got 5 burner boys that are going to be back at Arsenal and it's going to be the next best thing and everyone's positive. And then I got put after Yardman, who told Robbie he was a dunce. So I'm sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, I've now got to somehow go and follow after that. But Lawrence has put in 2 super chats about that. What did you make of Yardman's interview with Robbie on AFTV? We called him a footballing dunce. And Lawrence also said, according to Charlie Drake lookalike, Robbie interviewed, Mosquera has got legs like an octopus and Erdegaard's the most talented player in our squad. I thought Ty was deluded. Look, I've got to be honest. I'll give my thoughts on both of these, right? James is very positive. James wants everyone to get behind the team and he wants everyone to highlight how great we could be and how much young talent we've got. Now, I agree. There's definitely young talent and I think that we're going to win some games of football and I think that people can be positive as they want. But sometimes you've got to look at it and say it how it is. There was nothing positive in that pre-season that makes me think we're going to win the league or the Champions League. As for Yardman was stood next to me whilst James was screaming and ranting and raving into the camera about how we've got 5 players that are going to take us to the moon and back. And he's just looking at me, shaking his head. So I'm thinking, here we go. He's going to go on there and give it some. And then, of course, him and Robbie are arguing again within minutes because Robbie thinks everything's rosy and it's only a pre-season friendly. And Yardman's telling him to wake up, open your ears, and called him a footballing dunce. So that's my thoughts on it, Lee. I don't know if you watched the fan cams on.
Listen, you can't not but see it come up and everything like that. And listen, you've got guys on there like the Charlie Drake. It's a bit harsh from Lawrence, but. And Julian, they're always going to be positive. They're those sort of guys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it, if I'll be really honest, because I love to be a little bit like that. Just see it totally one way and don't see any bad in it, like, you know. But everybody's different, Dan, you know what I mean? Everybody supports the club differently and people see it differently. Lawrence sees it different to those guys. Me and Lawrence see it slightly different as well, like me and you do, like. But that's what it's like, you know what I mean? They're fans, they support, they want the team to win and all that. Like, I don't see it like that. You know, he's just got beat 3-1 at home. Listen, you know what I mean? Like, how can you be positive, Dan? How can you know what I mean? All you can come back with is it's a pre-season friendly. You know what I mean? Like, but we've been seeing this time and time again. And I see Julian's interview when he turned around and said, you know, we've got to be able to break down, you know, low block teams. He's been saying that for 2 years. So he's been saying it for 2 years, and he's saying like it's all right. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. After 4 years, we've still got to break down low block. You can't continually keep saying the same things all the time. You've got to be realistic and say, look, this is not working. It's not working. What are you going to do to make it different? And I don't see that happening. I don't see us doing that. And that's the problem that I've got. You know, my problem is, and you might think it's a bit of a problem, I can see us going to Man United and winning, probably going to beating Liverpool, right? And then drawing it home to Forest and Leeds because we can't break down low block teams. You know that Man United are going to come at us. You know Liverpool are going to come at us. Like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, you could go and win those games, and then it's those games that will cost us. Why? Because we've seen it for 2 years when you've got people like these positive guys saying, oh, well, it's all right, we'll find a way of doing it.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. But that's what they're like.
Yeah, look, you get different opinions and all that, and I get it, and it's great. I mean, AFTV is good for that. You got to big them up for that. They welcome anybody on there, and that's what I've always tried to do on my channel is give people, we had an amazing debate yesterday with Igal, who thinks that Arteta's better than Arsene Wenger's last 5 years, whereas a lot of the panel was shocked and thought, what? You know, Arsene Wenger was winning FA Cups and consistently getting his Champions League and had a title race with Leicester that year. So I think when you look at it, there's a lot of people that are different of opinions. Like, we don't have to fall out about it, but I understand why people get frustrated because they want what it is, Lee, right? And I was explaining this brilliantly the other day by someone. When you're feeling a certain way, I want everyone else to feel like I do. So when we win, I want everyone to be elated with me. When we lose, I want everyone to be hurting with me. So when I lose a game of football, I get the ump, and you've seen me get the ump, and I've seen you get the ump, right? We get the ump together. And when there's somebody like Julian, or somebody like Ty, or somebody like that James, or someone like the guys who you think, that's all right, calm, what you're getting a ump about? Calm down. I get the ump. So I think, hang on a minute, why aren't you hurting? You should be hurting like me. But people aren't. That's just how they feel. They don't feel it's a disaster. So once, when you calm down and you cool down, you realise, he can support the club how he wants. There are some people that just do not get it. There is no way that I could come out of Villarreal the other day and start screaming into a camera, we got Ethan, we got Saka, we got Max, we're going to be fine. I couldn't do all that. That's me. What I do is I say I've got concerns and I'm really worried about the coming season. I don't know that we're prepared already. Now, some people start ranting and raving. Go and get this guy out, is it? It's all emotions and it's all opinions. And you can't say what's right or wrong. You can't say he's wrong for screaming and that he's wrong for being positive and that he's wrong because he thinks we're going to win the league and he's wrong because he thinks we're going to come fifth. You got to see it play out, but you got to let people have emotions, man. You got to.
100%. And people have got opinions. People always say to me, "Oh, AFTV, it's always negative and everything like that, right?" Well, then you've got these guys that are very, very positive about it, like, you know what I mean? And they get ridiculed. Honestly, they get ridiculed, like, you know what I mean? Like, now I've seen Lawrence's Facebook little post that he's put up, and Lawrence like slagging them all off for being positive. So you can't win. You know what I mean? Like you get there's positive fans, and listen, I'd love to be more positive. I'd love to come out of that game against Villa. I'm sitting here, on holiday at the moment. Like I'd love to just go. Well, that's it. Move on to that. But I can't.
Same.
I've got the ump. You know what I mean? I had the ump then that we lost to Spurs. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you know what I mean? That hurt me. It only hurt me for about an hour or so, not like it would do if it was a normal game, but I don't like losing to them. You know what I mean? Like people taking the mickey out of me and things like that. I don't like it. You know what I mean? But at the end of it, all we want is Arsenal to be successful. We want Arsenal to win. And when we don't see, like, I've got these worry that it's not going to happen, I'm panicking. I'm panicking at this moment in time. You know, I mean, I've got no confidence going into Man United, by the way.
No.
I'll go up there and it'll be like, oh, I hope we win this. But I've got no confidence in it at this moment in time because of the way we're playing, the way that we can see go. I am worried. Listen, we could go up to Man United and put on a masterclass, and then you get your Robbie's going, I told you so, and all that. Like, they will do. You know what I mean? Like, without any patience and all that. But that's fine.
Well, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so stop there a second, right? You've just said when we start winning, they'll go, see, told you, calm down. But what happens if we don't start winning? They'll be silent. This is the problem. They won't say anything then. They won't go, do you know what? Crikey, yeah, you were
No,
right.
no,
We have
exactly.
some patience. You were right. It weren't about patience. We're actually seriously in trouble here. We haven't won against Man United, Leeds, or Liverpool here. This is actually a concern. They won't say that. They'll go, come on, it's 3 games. Calm down. There's 35 to go. This is
They
how it
won't say
works, man.
nothing. The old internet, the old Wi-Fi would be going down. They've got the builders outside taking up wires. They ain't got, it's just the way it is. Dan, come on, it's the way football is.
Of course.
Some people do that. Are they wrong? No, we're all different, and that's the way it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change.
Same.
If Arsenal win, they're the best team in the world, right? If they lose, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Of course, man. I'm the same. Everyone's the same, though, right? They all love it. It should be you're absolutely elated when you're winning and you're happy. There's nothing to moan about. When you lose, you question why you lose. You look at the concerns. You look at the issues.
And listen, if Arsenal win when they win, what was in the press conference the other game, I shake all their hands, fist pump them. When they lost to Spurs, I said, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. I don't want to see any of them. Nothing against them. They just let me down for that game. They just ruined my night. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You know what I mean? Next weekend, if they win, my weekend's fantastic. If they lose, my weekend's at it. Down the old toilet. Thank you very much, Mikel and the team. But if they win it, thank you. You know what I mean? So that's the way it is. That's how it is.
Look, you're right. This next one comes in from Eric. He says, it doesn't matter what top left winger we get. Max Dowman had 19 touches in just 15 minutes, which is the same as Martinelli in 75. What does this tell you? We should address the manager tactics before we buy a new winger. I propose a 4-4-2 system. Let me ask you this quickly, because the left wing and the left side of Arsenal has been dead for about 2 seasons now. When I look at Martinelli, I literally cannot believe the drop-off. It's scary. I look at Trossard and think he probably wants out. We definitely need a left winger coming in. But aside from that, the way that we play at the moment is so bad and so boring and so predictable that I kind of think Eric's got a point here. That if you do put in a Kylian Mbappe and a Haaland into Arsenal, does it work and we go and start winning? Because he's got to change the way we play. And I do revert back to 22-23 and even last season's Champions League sort of journey. I thought we played brilliant in the Champions League because we were going for a bit more, taking the shackles off, a lot more fluid, put 7 past PSV, beat Real Madrid. But when it comes to the league, it's like, right, who we got today? Everton. Keep the ball. Don't worry about shooting. We'll get there. We'll get a free kick or a corner. Oh, it's 0-0. Never mind. Brentford, Bournemouth, Palace, Fulham, Ipswich. Draws because we can't beat these teams because they're all low blocking us. I've got to see it change, Lee. I can't still with this. And the left side, I mean, Dowman was unbelievable again. He came on and is by far the best player.
He was, right? Is it like so? That's a great stat that Eric's put up there. He's had 19 touches in 15 minutes, right? How many times did Odegaard give him the ball? I don't know. Probably a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, who's feeding Martinelli? Who feeds Martinelli like that? Who gives the ball to Martinelli every 5 seconds?
It should be Rice, but he can't play that role.
He doesn't play that role. It's a different sort of a player. But what I'm saying is, right, if you're fed as much as that, maybe Martinelli do a bit more. Martinelli's fed once in a blue. So he's either got to make something happen or it don't happen, like, you know what I mean? But say like if it's down the other side, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure in those 19 touches, well, apart from the penalty, Max's didn't really create too much or whatever. There was crosses going in and all that, but no one's saying nothing, right? Because he's consistently going down there. But when you've got Martinelli once or twice, and if he doesn't make something of it, he's not about the next 15. Why is the one player having 19 touches and the other side having none? Because he's being, you know what I mean? Like, now, if you was in a chicken pen or something like that, and me and you are chickens, and I'm seeing you get fed all the time, I'm going to start getting the hump. I'm not getting fed at all, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's happening, Dan. And like, maybe Trossard's saying, do you know what? I've had enough of this. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, and Martinelli, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, credit to him that he don't moan and all that, like, but he's just consistently going down the left-hand side, right-hand side, And it ain't right. You've got to have a balance, mate. You know what I mean? Like, and we haven't got that balance, and that's down to tactics. Tactics. Odegaard, every time he gets the ball, his first thought is, I'll do a little flick or whatever. But my first thing is to get it to Saka. Then you know, I'll tell you what, I'll get it back off Saka. I'll tell you what, I'll come inside. Oh no, I'll come back out. I'll chop it on my right foot. I'll play Saka again. You know what I mean? Or now, or you know, playing in Max Dowman, like, you know. I bet you, right, if Max Dowman went on to the left-hand side of that game, he would have hardly got any touches whatsoever. There, I'm telling you. Nothing to do with the player. It's to do with the system.
What do you think that he needs to change then, Artel?
His approach. First of all, get someone in the, you know what I mean, like Granit Xhaka when he was playing there, we had a balance of the left-hand side. What I see now is Declan Rice, who I think, you know what I mean, you will have this argument about whether he's a good 8 and all that lot. I've seen him playing on the wing for us, Dan. One of the best central midfield players we've developed in years and years to come. I've seen him picking the ball up, and I've seen it 4 or 5 times in pre-season, right? Running off the pitch because he's got nowhere to go. You know what I mean? Like, what's all that about? He gets the ball, Martinelli runs into the middle, the centre forward Kai Havertz runs the other way, they bang into each other, and you know what I mean? Like, you know, he powers down the wing. He hasn't got a left foot, so he can't smash it across. You know what I mean? So he's got to power his way through, which he does every now and then, or he runs out of space. That ain't, you know what I mean? Like, there was 3 times in the game, the ball was pinged into him. If he was a left-footed player, he'd just lay it off first time into Martinelli. But he can't. He has to have a touch and then come inside, then play the ball into Martinelli. By the time that's done, Dan, the space is gone. You know what I mean? So I don't understand the tactic. If anybody can tell me what the tactic is of Declan Rice being the left-sided winger, I would love to know.
Mate, you're not alone. I did a show with DG on my channel earlier, and I worked out on the tactics board what I want to see. And it's Rice and Zubamendi in a double pivot with Odegaard more in a creative role. That's what I want to see. Because what that allows you to do is, I was talking about it earlier, triangles again. Because at the moment, the triangles are deep. I want the triangles to be up the pitch, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Odegaard, Martinelli, and Rice. And then obviously Zubamendi, Odegaard and Saka. Odegaard can be that guy to go over to the left with Martinelli, as well as just being stuck over the right. Declan Rice, I don't want Declan Rice being an attacking midfielder, brother. I'm sorry. I don't mind him being box-to-box. Don't mind him covering every blade of grass. Don't mind him being a Patrick Vieira, but please don't try and make him a Lampard. He's not that. He's not that player. He really ain't. You know, it is very similar to try and making Saliba a box-to-box midfielder. You wouldn't do it, would you? You wouldn't do it. You'd play him at the centre half. Yeah, so I don't know why we try to push him up the field. I just don't get it, if I'm honest. So
no, I'm with you on that. Like, I think he's box to box. You know what I mean?
He is.
You know, like, you know, I mean, but all this number 8 and number 6 and whatever, that was never like in my day. You used to, you know, I mean, have a boxer. Steven Gerrard was a box to box midfield player. Like, eventually, he did play as a off the striker, and he had the ability to do it. But ultimately, he was a powerhouse of a midfield player. We have got the best powerhouse midfielder in Europe, and we're playing him left wing. But it's not. It's just all right. It's a friendly, and Mikel knows best. Well, I'm sorry, not in my book. You don't know. He ain't get. We're not getting the best out of Declan. We're not getting the best out of Martinelli. We're not getting the best out of Trossard. We're not getting the best out of Gyökeres. And we're not getting the best out of Saka at this moment in time, like, you know. So, you know, something's got to change. Something has got to change.
I agree. This is interesting. User says, do you think that Gyökeres going on the left was his idea or Arteta's instructions? It looked to me like that's the way that he wants to play Gyökeres.
Don't know. You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, if you're a forward, which I like, sometimes you're not getting the service. Look, we don't really know what floats his boat at this moment in time. Mind you, they must have seen videos and everything like that, but I think it's more of him looking to try and get involved in the game, trying to, you know, impress and all that, Dan, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I think with Gyökeres at this moment, I don't think he's 100% fit. I'm not worried about that in any shape or form at this moment in time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, another 2 weeks of training yet before, or not less than that now, and like another 8 days of it. Like, you know, he'll find a way. You know what I mean? And sometimes I do you remember the run he'd done against us in the Champions League game. He was on the left-hand side and burst down, and you know what I mean. So I don't think that it's foreign to him to go down the left-hand side or down the right-hand side. I think he's powerful and he will use both channels. But ultimately, I think that he can do all of that. Like, but I don't think you'll be seeing him playing down the left. I think he'll be one of those centre forwards that move about, and that's what you want. Someone that's what's the word I'm looking for? Mobile. And I think that he's a big, big lad, but I think he's also mobile. I think with Giroud wasn't that mobile. I think that Gyökeres is a Giroud, but with mobility.
Look, I'm not saying I don't want to ever see Gyökeres coming out wide, but I certainly don't want to see him staying out there. Like Havertz, the natural instinct should be get me in the box because I'm going to put me, get me end on it. I think with Havertz, he's wanting to go down the wing to overlap with Saka instead of getting into the box. That's the difference we've got. We've got to get Gyökeres to get something on the end of it, and that's the way I see it, man. So that's Gyökeres. Look, I must say this though, judges. I've seen some rival fans. Where's the celebration? Well, he's played 60 minutes. So they think he was going to get a hat-trick in that time. Like, we've got to give this guy up to fitness. Get him, you've got to give him 5-6 games before we start to look at what he's about, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at. This is quite a funny one. Did make me laugh from Matty K. He says, is Lee sat in a game of Jenga? I love that, Matty. That's class.
Very good, very good.
Very good, mate. Very, very good, mate.
Don't you knock my sweet, son. Don't you knock my sweet.
Hope you're well, matey. Lee says, guys, if reports are true, we have no money for Eze. That makes laying out the 52 million for Madueke a complete nonsense. What do you make to this?
Well, if that's the case, like, you know what I mean, I urge every Arsenal fan not to buy a burger and chips in the stadium. Simple as that, like, because they have got money. Don't care whatever you say. And if they decided that they haven't got the money and they decided to put it on Madueke, I'm not having a go at, but £52 million for Madueke, you could have gone got Grealish on loan for that. Yeah, or something a lot cheaper than that. Like, so I'm not buying that. If they can afford 52 million for Madueke, they can afford money for Eze. And if they can't, shocking. They only spent 100 million, 200 million then. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, we've been in the Champions League for 2 years now, like, you know what I mean? So all the Champions League money and everything, like, that's always, you know what I mean? Liverpool are going to be spending nigh on 400 million. Man City, 350. Chelsea, 400 million. I'm sorry, if you haven't got the money for Eze, then shame on you. Simple as that, like. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No, look, if this is true, it is a criminal offence to be putting in £52 million on Madueke and not affording Eze on top of it. I always said that if you are going to be looking at a midfield or attack that has Eze, Rodrigo and Madueke, I've got absolutely no problem. But if we brought in Madueke and Gyökeres and no other attacker comes in, I think it's absolute shambolic from the board and ownership. I think it is terrible. I like Gyökeres. I think that's not the problem. But Madueke, Chelsea backup to come in and be an Arsenal backup, and they think that's enough. No, we're going to buy more players. We're going to buy more players. We're going to have to get 2 more in, Lee. We're going to have to get Eze and a winger, whether it's Lookman or Rodrigo. Or Leao. We're going to have to get a left winger and Eze.
Well, the way it is at the moment, we haven't done enough. We've done well, but it's not enough to win the league. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, it isn't, like, you know what I mean? We might as well just gone and got, put all our eggs in one basket and gone and got him. You know what I mean? The reason that I'm thinking where we've got Gyökeres is because, well, we've got Gyökeres and Eze. You know what I mean? Not Gyökeres and Madueke. I'm not having that. And there's nothing against the kid. You know what I mean? Like, he is not going to be a goal changer, Dan. He's not. I'm sorry.
Well,
If he
apparently,
is,
Tom Cannon is saying that I didn't watch his show this morning, but Cannon's saying that we've decided not to sign Eze because Dowman's look better than Arteta thought. Well, is that true? Jesus Christ, if that's true.
well, listen, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
love
the thing
Dowman.
that's
Don't get me wrong. I
better.
love what
Well,
Dowman's
he
done.
didn't think that's a load of crap. We all know how good Dowman's been. Is he surprised how good he's been in the thing? Well, if Arteta is surprised by that, that's a big worry, isn't it, for Arteta? He should know. He should know how good this kid is. You're telling me that he's not been doing this in training and things like that? Listen, let's get this right, okay? Max Dowman is probably going to stop us buying somebody. Now, whether that is a wide player or not, like, I'm happy with that, Dan, because I'm happy for him to come in and play. I really am, like, you know what I mean? But it's not, you know, listen, he's 15 years of age. He's not going to be playing central midfield for another couple of years yet. I mean, physically, he's not going to be up for him. So they're looking at playing with a different position. Eventually, we'll go into the midfield, like, you know what I mean? I've got no doubt whatsoever about that. But at this moment in time, yeah, he might have saved us some money in some ways. But we still, you know, why are people making excuses about we're not going to sign Eze because of this and because of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't give me all of that crap. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you either buy Eze or you don't. And if you're not buying Eze, that's because the manager doesn't want to buy him. Simple as that. Like, that means he's happy with what he's got in midfield or whatever. Like, and if that is the case, then so be it on the manager. Don't be looking at excuses. Oh, well, he's got Dowman, or we've got this, and we've got Wanyeri. Wanyeri's going to make an influence, Dan. You know, like, maybe we don't need Eze because Wanyeri's going to be the force in that role. I get that. I understand that, like, you know what I mean? But I still think that we need something, whether it be an Eze. I think we need an Eze or a left-sided player to change things. We really do.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Last super chat before we close is from Owen. It says, fun fact, Arsenal have a larger net spend than Liverpool. We've got to get some sales in. If Arsenal have any ambition, they should go out there and humiliate United. I see no improvement from last year. Okay, let me break that up. I see no improvement from last year either yet. I appreciate some of the new signings haven't really had enough time to bed in and settle in, and it's fitness. We should go out there and humiliate Manchester United, but I don't think that we're going to, and it is a very different Manchester United team from last year also. I will say that the sales is the last thing I'll say. I think we need to somehow try and get some form of respectable cash for some of these players. And I don't know how we're going to get any money for Zinchenko. He looks awful. Lokonga's not kicked a ball yet. Fabio Vieira, what the hell is that? What did we buy that for? Reece Nelson's hardly played, but he needs a new club. Jesus and Trossard, apparently their futures are up for grabs. Do you see some of these players going, Lee, just quickly?
Yeah, I do see them going, but they're not going to go to big money. You know, people go on about Liverpool, like they've just sold Nunez, haven't they, for 40,000. They bought him for 85, 90 million. People forget about that, Dan. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we bought Vieira for 35 million. We're not going to get 35 million from him. We're not going to get 30 off for Zinchenko. We're not. We're just going to have to get him off the books and refresh it like that, like, you know. And that's the way way it's going to be. We might sell Kivior. That might give us a few. But I can see that happening, Dan. I can really see that happening as one player to go, because his performance was like a player I don't want to get injured the way he defended the other night. You know what I mean? So maybe that could happen, like, you know. But listen, they will go off the books maybe towards the back end of the transfer window. That's not good. Those decisions are not going to win us or lose us the league, Dan. Let's get the facts right. The decisions that are going to make us win or lose the league is Gyökeres. Is he going to be the man? And Madueke, is he going to be the man? Like, you know what I mean? And for me, it's not enough. You know what I mean? Like, the other guys we brought in, Norgard, central defender, who else we brought in? Like, the goalkeeper. They're all just squad fillers, just squad players, which you need. Don't get me wrong, they're going to be very, very important. But they're not going to be the defining moment if we win the league. It's them two up top at this moment. Zubimendi as well might have an impact. But forwards and all that are the ones that are exciting, Dan. You know what I mean? And I'm afraid that's where we're looking at this moment in time.
I agree, bro. I agree. Look, man, I've got to be honest. I feel like the weekend could change things. If I see a performance at the weekend that I'm proud of, that I'm happy to be looking at going into Old Trafford, maybe I'll think differently. But certainly got concerns at the moment. But look, we've got to finish there because I'm on in 3 minutes on my channel.
No problems whatsoever.
Big up to everyone that put in a super chat. I really did enjoy that. Actually, it was quite nice to go through some of the chat and see what you guys are thinking. Make sure you do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. Make sure you don't go anywhere. You're going to be redirected to my show in a minute, which has got a panel talking about Arsenal. So make sure that you do come and show some love over there. And make sure you hit like and subscribe. And Lee, I'll let you say goodbye to everyone, mate.
Enjoy tomorrow. 5 o'clock kickoff. Saturday at the Emirates. Don't forget, take your wallet. £20 for a burger and chips. No, £20 for a burger. 25 for a burger and chips. And if it don't go well, it's only a friendly. Remember that.